Hey, tell your pal Uncle Leo thanks for screwing up the game. You be very careful what you say about my Leo. Well, heading into this game, the Leafs were undefeated in games where Leo Komarov scored a goal. So how is it his fault then? He scored 2, stupid. He canceled him out. Woo! Are you just gonna get hammered? Get me a toaster. Magic Angel Robot from Winnipeg.
What the hell are you talking about?
This team is ruining my life. Leafs half win 4-3 against the Pittsburgh Penguins. 1 point against the Pittsburgh Penguins this season is as good as 2. Pity point. Pity. So, the Leafs almost beat the Penguins, but how could the Leafs have fully beaten the Penguins? Well, they did a couple things. A lot of the talk of the broadcast was shutting down the Penguins' two-headed monster. Which, when you really think about it, how do they even have them? The Penguins really screwed it up for everybody. Well, if we just suck for back-to-back years, we'll get back-to-back generational talents in the draft. And then after that, I guess we'll have a pretty good team, right? Said the 2010 Edmonton Oilers, and then the 2011 Edmonton Oilers, and then the 2012 you get it, and 2013. You get it. And so far the 2014 Oilers. It's time to move on, Steve. So the two names that belong to the two heads on the Penguins' two-headed monster are Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin. The Leafs did a somewhat decent job of shutting down Sidney Crosby in that he didn't score a goal. And they did somewhat of a good job shadowing Evgeny Malkin in that he didn't score a goal. So I guess if those are your only two criteria, yeah, the Leafs shut those two down. But then consider the fact that Sidney Crosby had 3 shots and 2 assists while Evgeny Malkin had 3 assists and 2 shots. That's 5 shots and 5 assists in a game where they were shut down! So really, you can't shut down Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin, you just have to hope one of their line mates scores instead. And you can put them on the ice together, and then you have Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin on the ice together, or you could separate them, and very few teams in the NHL can shut down one of those guys, let alone shut down both. It's just freaking unbelievable. And remember the last Leafs Penguins LFR video where I gushed about Sidney Crosby being one of the all-time greats? He got his 800th career point in this one, the 6th fastest to ever do that. And this is your basically weekly reminder from me that he's still 4th all-time in points per game. But anyway, let's get to the Leafs. Okay, I don't claim to be a coach. I claim to be a blogger who yells about the coaches. Or not coaches, mostly coach. I haven't really said anything about Horacek or Spot, have I? Anyway, I have an idea. Okay, now I'm not saying you need to start Reimer more. Well, actually, I am, technically. All I'm saying is you need to play Reimer slightly more. And by that I mean you can have Jonathan Bernier play most of the games. But I would like to see them try this out. Just give it a shot. I want to see Reimer play the first 5 minutes. Because Bernier has held the Leafs in a lot of games. I thought this game was a good example. He held the fort in the 3rd period, but during the first 5 minutes of the first, the puck is the size of a chickpea. Spinning and flopping around. The only way that would be a good thing is if you laid a piece of cardboard down in the crease and made him wear an Adidas tracksuit. Leafs defense standing there rocking around with a boombox. Hey! Oh! But don't take this as an attack on Bernier because no goalie flops around in their crease when there's nothing to worry about. And when Vesa Toskala allows a goal from 197 feet away, that's a goalie allowing a goal. But when you get scored on in the first 30 seconds of a game and more than once, that's a bit of a team issue, isn't it? And on a 2-0 goal, it's difficult enough for Bernier to stop a Malkin slap shot, let alone when he can't see it. And now the Leafs really got a crack down here because they're down 2-0 on the road. The Penguins are a very strong team. They got guys like Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin. We forget about Hornqvist, Letang, Como, obviously. Would someone answer that damn phone? Uncle Leo! Oh, you beautiful Estonian, Finnish, Russian, possibly Australian man, you! First completing the beautiful play from a line that I like. I've liked Nazem Kadri's play this year, but I haven't really liked his lines. The little line he's got going with Mike Santorelli and Leo Komarov looked pretty good in this game, I thought. Kadri getting pitched along the boards, nice little one-handed pass over to Mike Santorelli, Santorelli over to Komarov, Bob's your uncle, the Leafs are in the game. Gino Finov puts on a high shot, Marc-Andre Fleury prepares accordingly. Leo Komarov, boop, beautiful tip, ties the game and makes Marc-Andre Fleury fall on his butt. Look, I'm not gonna say Leo Komarov is amazing, that's a lie, he's amazing. Elation for the Leafs, they come back from a 2-goal deficit. Blake Como with the tip of his own, now it's 3-2. But it's okay because what happened next was amazing. I could tell you what happened next, but instead why don't I show you a clip from a highlight pack from sports anchor and reporter Ashley Chase of WJAC-TV in Johnstown, Pennsylvania.
3-2 Penguins, but again, the Leafs come back to tie it up. Buzz Lightyear to the rescue. It's Tyler Bozak knotting the game at 3.
Yeah, she did. Oh, it's just enough to make a Space Ranger blush. Whoa. Good thing it was only set to stun. And I was getting into a bit of a conversation last night on Twitter. You know, I'm still not convinced Bozak is like the #1 center the Leafs need. But I think I'm pretty reasonable in saying, he's got redeeming factors, such as that goal right there. David Alter tweeting that this was the first time a Leaf player had scored shorthanded goals in back-to-back games since Sundin did it in 2002. So I'm not going to be unrealistic about Bozak, but I'm also not going to hate on him either. But you just have some people who are going to say, that wasn't flying, that was falling with style. Guys, money one-on-one, son. Some people would say one-on-none, but I think that's mean to goalies because they're people too. But then, as we all know, the Penguins won it in overtime. Blake Como completing a hat trick. Who cares? I'm bored. Let's talk about what was amazing on that play. Dion Phaneuf riding Sidney Crosby hard into the boards, crushes him, and then with 200-plus pound Dion Phaneuf on him, Sidney Crosby basically deadlifts Phaneuf off of him and then goes to the net. People talk about toughness in the NHL. The most rock-like fists, the most chiseled jaws. How much you bench, bruh? But we don't talk enough about booty toughness. I'm willing to bet that Sidney Crosby's ass could kick anyone else's bum. Just walking around the arena before the game. Sorry I'm late to the arena, guys. Sup, Flower? Oh, I'm sorry. Did you drop this? Here, let me just pick it up. Oh, geez. Sid's Anaconda, don't. Posing for pictures like Kim Kardashian. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is Crosby has really big glutes. I mean, it's just a product of hard work. Let's be mature about this. So congratulations to the Penguins on 2 points. Congratulations to Blake Como for the hat trick. And congratulations to Sidney Crosby for that ass dope. A few questions. One, I was asking on Twitter last game, especially after Kadri crushed Ehrhoff open ice, is Kadri the best open ice hitter on the Leafs after Phaneuf? He's got to be close, and people always sound shocked when he trucks guys too. It's like, how many times can you see the same thing happen and still be surprised? And kind of quiet in the return of Joffrey Lupul, how did you think that David Booth looked? I mean, not great, but it was his first game of the season. Are you free tonight? Do you live in Toronto or Toronto-ish? Would you like to see a live hockey discussion with the likes of James Myrtle, Chris Johnson, Christine Simpson, Dan Robson, Steve Birch, and hosted by Matt Brown? Of course you would. If you are the first person to tweet Bose Lightyear to the rescue to me and at On the Big Ice, you can have 2 tickets. The event starts at 7. Once again, you win 2 tickets, the event starts at 7. So that's it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video, click subscribe if you really liked it, tell all your friends, and now I'm gonna go give Drake a lap dance. Sid's Anaconda, don't. Sid's Anaconda, don't. Sid's Anaconda, don't. Sid's Anaconda, don't. Ow! Oh!